Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So, since I was playing a lot of, melee-based type of characters, the last characters were all bleed characters, but none of them were actually so good that I wanted to make a video about them. So you have to think about my bleed characters, since there has been some changes to bleed, especially when it comes to how's it called? The bleed multiplier that we are having right now, right? So I don't really want to talk too much about bleed. I just want to explain quick what has been my latest builds, basically, and why didn't I brought a video about them. So we do have a lot of these damage over time multiplier for bleeding, okay? So we have this for ignite now and all other ailments, basically, and also for bleeding. So there has been some jewels like this one, increased damage over time and physical damage over time multiplier, and I made a full Elder Gear set using the Blasphemous Grasp, which says damage over time multiplier for ailments per Elder item. That means I could get up with the Crimson Dance, I could get up to potentially like 2 million Shaper DPS in terms of bleed, which is way more than I used to, basically, or in the other leagues where I tried to play bleeding. It was a Gladiator. But then I tried different skills. The first one was Spectre Shield Throw, which was super amazing and very fun to play, but the boss damage was pretty much shit, okay? So I actually did Uber Elder with the Spectre Shield Throw bleed-based build as well, but I died like 3 times. It was very close, because at the end there was just not enough damage there, okay? So as I said, I killed it, but it was like one of my worst Uber Elders ever. The main reason for that is if you play with bleed builds, you want to have this chance for bleeding inflict with this weapon deals 100% more damage. Like, 100% more damage with bleeding is insane, you know? But Spectre Shield Throw is just based about the build, so then I was switching to Earthquake and also Lacerate, but it just feels not that great. Like, Earthquake is fine, is definitely doable, Uber Elder and so on, not a big deal. But for Blight Mechanic, Earthquake pretty much sucks, you know? So it leaves us open with Lacerate, what I tried out as the last option, but in the end, I just have to say, Lacerate without a lot of attack speed feels so clunky, and then I decided to ditch everything and start with a caster, and here we are. So, I wanted to make for quite some time, like, I really love this dual-wielding Void Batteries power charge stacking builds, right? And this is the reason why I went Assassin with this one. So, if you're gonna just check out like power charge stacking, what does that mean? Like, in terms of Void Batteries, obviously the more power charges you have, the more damage you do, right? But there is like 3 sentences that can have like additional power charges. One would be the Occultist, which is not that great anymore since the nerfs with the energy shield and just nerfing the energy shield in general, right? So, and the additional curse or the bleed pops, or at least the chaos damage pops are not worth it, to be honest. So you have the Trickster and the Assassin. Trickster is nice for like channeling skills and stuff, but I think like with the reworked Assassin now with the Mistwalker, that gives you another layer of defense and also the power charge generation. I just thought like it's going to be nice to do a build like that. So the main reason, or the main build that I wanted to focus on would be either Stormbrand or the good old Winter Orb, right? And both can be played with the Void Batteries as an Assassin, so that's why I picked up this character. But leveling with Stormbrand is quite shit, okay? So you have to imagine, you're starting right here with an Assassin, right? And if you're playing Stormbrand, you want to have the Rune Binder, right? So you can have 2 brands attached to the enemy. So the first thing you have to do, basically starting with an Assassin, is leveling and just trying to get the fastest way over here to get the Rune Binder going. And that's why I decided to try out Orb of Storms as my leveling skill. And this character is currently /played 12 hours old. 10 hours old, 12 minutes. So 10 hours, level 83, currently leveled this one up today. And I gotta say, it is actually so much fun to play and so fast that I decided to make even a build, or at least like a video about it, just telling you guys how it feels like. The thing why I wanted to do a lightning-based build on this case is the Impulsor combined with the Storm's Gift. So the Storm's Gift will spread shocks, and the shocks will explode, and then you have some nice chain reactions. I think, like, I know already the comments here, like, hey, you make a build about Orb of Storms, the first 3 minutes you talk about bleeding, then you talk about things that you actually want to play but not playing, like what the fuck, show us something. So I think we're just going to go for, yeah, maybe an Elder Toxic Sewer here, because this is a mapping build and not a speed, like a Guardian or a Boss Killer here, right? So 90% chance to avoid elemental ailments is a little bit bad since the shock, but yeah, this should be fine. Although this is a little bit weird, cause to be honest, I had this in a solo mission today, so it had the mod 90% chance to dodge the elemental ailments, right? Or at least unaffected by elemental ailments. Which is fine, cause if you're shocking and mobs will just like not be shocked because of 90% reduced, it makes sense. But if you take a look at the Storm's Gift, it says enemies you kill are shocked, right? And shocked enemies you kill explode. So it actually should work in just my understanding here. But yeah, let's take a look. It's basically a speed bomber, more or less. We have Orb of Storms combined with a chain support, so it chains really far, and then the impulsor explosions. And for single target, we have a Wave of Conviction to add up some more damage. But in the end, the playstyle is pretty straightforward. You're just running and just popping everything with your Orb of Storms. And as you see, this is a tier 15 map. I also did a couple of 83 Delph mods. You're just, it plays like an auto bomber, and it's actually super fun to play, right? So, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and boss is dead. Perfect. So as you see, the damage is fair enough with the Wave of Conviction here. We're just gonna run here, kill some more mobs, but as I said, it's actually so enjoyable to play with all the fancy explosions that I decided to even make a video about it, showing you guys the current progress of the build, because at some point I'm definitely going to swap to Stonebrand, because I want to do Uber Elder kills, right? Because I need them for my challenges and stuff, so an Orb of Storms will not bring me there, to be honest. It's a very nice clearing skill, but for single target you want to have, or at least for Uber Elder, you want to have something different, definitely. So let's check out the Blight mechanic. I also did a Blighted map before. Ah, wait, Cassier is on the bottom side here. I also did a Blighted map, which worked out super fine with Orb of Storms. You're just like flame dashing around and just one-shotting everything in the pack, which is super nice. At the moment, I'm basically just like spawning the green turrets just because I need them for my challenge, which is spend Blight resources, right? So I still need like 80,000 to have my challenge done. But yeah, as I said, Orb of Storms is pretty nice. All you gotta do is just stand here and put your Orb of Storms there, and it will basically just take care of everything, and especially with the chain reactions. So best way, of course, if every single portal is coming from one direction, and otherwise you're just like swapping here, clear off, swapping here, clear off. Like the chain reactions will definitely just take care of pretty much everything. And if there is a boss, you still have your Wave of Conviction. But Wave of Conviction is probably just like for single target. But you can also do like Vile Storm Call, a Lightning Spire Trap, anything like that, you know? So, yeah, pretty straightforward actually. And yes, I know the build is a little bit squishy at the moment, let's say, because I'm only level 83, so I'm going, on the skill tree section, I'm going to talk about the next steps I want to do here, right? So as you saw, pretty much no problem. But a very, very, very fun and interesting build to play, I would say, especially if you're just interested in some high-tier mapping. And as I said, this build is doing absolutely fine, and the chain reactions are just, like, beautiful. Do we have some Nico Sulfide, actually? We do have a little bit, yeah. So I would say, let's just run a bigger map here, or at least, like, a bigger showcase. Maybe we go, like, this way here. But this is 83, Devs 200 something. So basically tier 16, so you can see that as well, that it's also very, very nice for Delphing as well. Because it works pretty much the same, you know, you just pop your Orb of Storms, and the chain and the shock spread will take care of the rest, basically, right? And as I said, it actually was planned to be a Storm brand character, but I just ditched it for the leveling part. So after this video, I just want to show you guys that build here, or at least this version of an Orb of Storm shock spreader, or whatever you call it, before I switch to the Orb of Storms, which is going to be my next build for carrying a couple of Uber Elders and then probably move on to, as I said, maybe like Winter Orb, or maybe I'm going to stick with the lightning skills because I just love these shock explosion spreads, because this is an item that we didn't have for the last couple leagues, just because they removed the synthesis in total. But as you see, not a big deal at all. So let's go back to Hideout and let's talk a little bit about the build and what ideas I would have in further investigations in this build here, right? So let's throw everything into the loot tab. What is this? Just whatever. There you go. So as I said, it's Orb of Storms, and the main function here is the combination from Storm's Gift and the Impulse's Broken Heart. And there's two things I want to say in the start off, okay? If you cannot afford Void Batteries, because they're going for like 2.5 exalts or something, or 3 exalts at the moment. Yeah, 2.5 exalts per piece makes 5 exalts just for the 2 weapons. Any kind of wand or anything like spell crit, spell damage, then spell as extra chaos, whatever, lightning spells to attack, to spells basically, is fine, okay? You can definitely just take one of these here. Void Batteries are something that is just like scaling with power charges, and it's probably something endgame viable more, right? And I'm just seeing that this one doesn't even have the right implicit. What is this? 34, 40, there you go, first try, dude. RNG god here. So, as I said, if you cannot afford these here, just take any kind of wands with spell damage, spell crit, like the usual caster weapon space, right? And if you're wondering why I'm using the Nomad doesn't bring me anything, okay? It doesn't bring me anything. The only thing is, like, I was leveling up, or at least I'm currently playing with Headhunter, just because I'm browsing, or at least like speed mapping for leveling. And since I know that you guys hate it when I have a Headhunter equipped in a map showcase, I bought the Nomad, because the thing that I'm missing here, since I'm having this dex-based helm, it's a strength and dexterity. And the Nomad has also strength and dexterity, like more than 40, same as the Headhunter does, right? This is the reason why I'm using a Nomad, just so I can wear my helm and put the Headhunter on the stash. Okay, enough talking about that. Let's take a look at the build. As I said, for the helm, just like life and resistance here. Wave of Conviction, Fist to Lightning, since Wave of Conviction is a physical spell, so we're converting 50% of that one into lightning, and also the gem itself has already 25% conversion into fire and lightning. And the one base type that is higher, it's getting an exposure, and the exposure applies minus 25% of that element, right? And since we're using lightning, Fist to Lightning, our main damage from the Wave of Conviction is going to be lightning, and therefore the enemy will get debuffed with the lightning exposure, and we're doing more damage. On top of that, Control Destruction and Lightning Pen just for single target here. Then, as I said, for the weapons, I talked about that one. So Flame Dash, faster casting, and Arcane Surge support. Arcane Surge on level 7, so it triggers on every single Flame Dash here. Then we have Cast When Damage Taken, Immortal Call, and Increased Duration. You can also take the, what's it called, Steel Skin. But I just think if you go high tier mapping, Immortal Call is better, and if you go low tier mapping, maybe Steel Skin is something for you. So I still think after all those leaks, I still don't think there is like a big difference. So you're like, oh my god, this is so much better than the other one. I think, like, as I said, for me, high tier mapping, Immortal Call, low tier mapping is going to be. Then for the rings, they are pretty much life resistance. So with my rings, I could balance my resistance, so I'm able to use a Wise Oak. So if you are also want to use a Wise Oak, then make sure that your lightning resistance is higher than the other one, so you get the lightning penetration. Or you do it like I do, so I get all the 3 damage types in terms of defense and offense. Offense doesn't really matter for me, since I'm lightning based. I only want the lightning pen, but for defense it does matter. And since I could balance my resistance just with the helm, with the boots, gloves, and the rings, that's the reason why I can actually swap out the Nomad, the Headhunter, whatever belt, just life, and I'm good, you know, because I'm actually like 30 or 28% overcapped. 28, yeah, 28% overcapped anyway, so I could actually run Ellie Weakness. And that's the reason why I'm using a Choir of the Storm. Choir of the Storm is just like a lightning yeah, lightning favored amulet. It doesn't really bring too much. Critical strike chance is increased by lightning resistance, what I have like a lot, you know. But as an assassin, and with the increased crit strike here on Orb of Storms, with the ascendancies, with the critical strike chance that I get from my power charges, this is actually completely unnecessary, okay? So I just took it because I was like speed gearing this as soon as I went into mapping. I was like, yeah, what can I do? Okay, my resistance are balanced. Do we have some damage option in terms of lightning? Yeah, let's say Choir of the Storms. I bought this one for like 25 chaos, even with the allocation. So this is not something I allocated. It goes for 30 chaos at the moment. So the allocation was already on, and it's static blows, which is also shock effect. So that's actually nice for my based character as well here. So let's move on with the chest, the Impulse's Broken Heart. So we're shocking. We have increased effect of shock. We do more damage once we killed an enemy. So it's actually pretty nice chest here, especially in terms of clearing. I have here Orb of Storms with chain support, then Lightning Pan, added lightning, control destruction, and the increased critical strike support. So this is my map clearing setup. I don't really feel that I need an increased area of effect gem over here, because the chains are going spreading, and then the shock spread and the explosions. You saw that the clear is actually pretty nice on this side, right? So as I said, with the Impulsor, these Storms Gift, they are pretty much cheap, to be honest. Let me just pull them up here. Storms Gift, there we go. They are currently going for 1 chaos, 2 chaos, 2 chaos, so definitely affordable. The only thing that changes is this one here, right? The implicit changes, like on a lot of other synthesis items as well. And I was lucky, I could get mine with conductivity. Conductivity is the one, like flammability for fire, conductivity is then for a lightning, so their enemies are just getting more lightning damage. If you cannot get these with conductivity, which is not a big deal, I would personally just link my Herald of Thunder with like Curse on Hit, Assassin's Mark, Curse on Hit, conductivity, like anything like that. Maybe even with probably Onslaught or anything like that. It's not really a big deal, but that's just the reason why I am not running a Curse and Hit setup, because I'm not having an additional Curse. I could skill it over here, but I'm not sure if I should anoint this one or not, or... In the end, I want to actually focus on the Storm brand, so for leveling, or at least like having fun in maps, this build just does very, very fine here. Wrath, Herald of Thunder, then we have an Enlighten support and a Precision level 1. Precision level 1 just for the base crit, okay? So the accuracy doesn't really matter, but these 22 mana that reserves is not a big deal, but we still get 40% increased critical strike chance, which is nice. Okay, these are the gloves here, explained. This Choir of Storms, this is fine. Here on the boots, just life resistance, and I have here Cast on Death, Portal. Yeah, great. Nice. Okay, so I have a Bleed Immune, Life Flask, Wise Oak, as I explained, with the damage penetration and the defensive buff. Then a Cinder Swallow Urn, which is super nice to have for mapping in general, because it gives you Onslaught and you recover life, mana, energy shield, and increased critical strike chance, which is super nice for a crit build. Then a Diamond Flask, obviously, Freeze Immunity, and the Quicksilver to move faster. So let's take a look at the skill tree for now. For the Ascendancies, I started off with I think Opportunistic, then Unstable Infusion, then Deadly Infusion, and the last was actually Mistwalker, because I don't really think that I was needing it for mapping or something. No, it's not too special, actually. So, early damage, life, crit multi, all the good stuff. Power charges, obviously, since we're stacking with the void batteries. Even if you don't have the void batteries, I would still go for the power charges. Then for watches, I currently have Wrath crit strike chance, which is kind of obvious thing here, not too expensive. I got mine even with Celatry, and the reason for that is that I actually want to use Celatry here, right? But at the moment I cannot, because Celatry is a 50% aura and Wrath as well, right? And even with an Enlightened level 3, I don't have enough mana left. So in later stages, I would like to go Wrath, maybe with Celatry, and if you can get actually Herald of Thunder with an Enlightened level 4, if you're taking those nodes like Sovereignty, like all these mana reserve nodes over here, the mana reserve point over here, and if it's not enough, you can still go down here just a couple points and take Charisma as well. So you're definitely gonna have enough reduced mana to run everything. On the other hand, if you just take like the skill tree like I have and take like Wrath and Celatry, or even Herald of Thunder the way I play it right now without any kind of reservation, and even an Enlighten level 3. So this is fair enough. So this is the budget version here, right? The rest here, just like power charges, spell crit the usual way, then Heart of Thunder for more spell penetration. And here it's important to take the above here, this one, because this spell damage note, the small note here, gives you 4% increased spell damage per power charge. All the others give you increased duration, so that's why it's important to take the right side up so you're not wasting 1 point in power charge duration. You better take the 10 intelligence and you're fine, okay? Here power charge as well, life, increased area of effect, dark arts. I really like this one for speed mapping, just because of the reduced cooldown recovery speed and also the cast speed that you're getting with dual wielding, and cast speed is something you want to have anyways when you're playing caster based builds. So the next point, what would be the next point? If we take a look at the path of building, which is basically exactly this build here, and we take a look at the tree. Let's say I'm level 83 now, so I would probably just take the safe route and go down here and take up this full cluster, and even maybe take the life regen with the jewel slot. That would be level 100. So as you see, the next points are basically just like survivability, and in the end we should have like 176% increased life from tree, which makes this build technically hardcore viable, right? But at the moment I was just focusing getting the damage going, getting the spell crit, the power charge notes. That's why I'm only having like 3 point something K life. Wasn't it actually 4K life just a minute ago? I think with the Headhunter it was 4K life. I was just wondering, wait a second. Yeah, 4K life, there you go. So it's just about the belt. So, sorry. So as I said, even with all these life notes here, I probably would be able to reach 5K life, which is quite fine for a spellcaster, in my opinion. So, let's talk about bandits. Obviously, help Alira because of the multiplier and the all resistance that you're getting. For mapping now, I take Lunaris and... what did I have here? Dude, I was just like leveling this character. Probably, maybe Soul of Grid Cool to have a little bit more a layer of defense here. But I still need to upgrade mine. So Lunaris is just what I take for mapping, and usually Solaris if I actually do bosses as well. But this build is basically not designed for doing bosses, besides map bosses. When I say bosses, I always talk about Shaper, Guardians, Uber Elder, Owl, and those kind of stuff. So this build is not designed for that. It's for speed mapping, for blighted maps, to have fun grinding up the currency. So Lunaris should definitely be fine here. If you're wondering about the MTX, which is a little bit more beasty this time, we're having double Void Emperor's weapon, which is actually quite cool, because this is a weapon like the Dark Prison thing here. Well, actually, it doesn't even work for wands. This is actually funny. But yeah, this weapon will actually change appearance based on the type of thing that you're having. Like, if you're having a sword, it's going to be a sword. If you're having a staff, then it will transform to a staff, I think. Or does this only count for the Dark Prison weapon? They're like kind of the same here. But it's not only like a sword base, they're also a sword MTX that you can use for wands as well. So with this one, Blood Knight weapon effect, the full Beast Helm, Beast set, Beast Helm, Beast body armor, gloves and boots, with the Beast cloak here. I think it was somewhere when you got the Kitava supporter pack, this was one of those, so probably this is not even available anymore. Then Fire Horns just to fill up the spots, to be honest, because, to be honest, nobody needs that. Then the new Void Emperor corrective effect, the Void Emperor portal effect. I don't know, I just love this Void Emperor stuff here, so it looks pretty decent. And then the Bloodguard footprints that you can barely actually, so it's not really interesting at all. Celestial Orb of Storms, Dragon Flame dash effect, Dark Immortal Call, then Wrath doesn't have anything attached to it. Then we have the Celestial Herald effect and the Void Emperor Aura effect, which is this big dark red, purple kind of aura. I mean, not too hard to see here. So, as I said, very fun and cool character. I actually wanted to use this build just for leveling up, and as soon as I hit mapping and I would have enough skill points, I would basically reset my whole skill tree and start using Stormbrand. Stormbrand. But in the end, I had so much fun with this one, because the chains are so big with the Storms gift with the Impulsor and the chain on Orb of Storms, that I was just sticking with it, and I had so much fun with it that I even made a video about it right now. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of a build. It's a lot of fun. It basically plays like an auto bomber, just that you have to use your instant cast Orb of Storms sooner or later to make those nice explosions. So yeah guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.